Hello, everybody. It is Sunday night, and you know what that means. That means it is time for the Sunday Night League. And you have no idea how excited I am to finally get to say that on a Sunday. It has been ages since we've gotten true live commentary on an SNL race or event, but we are back. We finally have it again. It's been post-race commentary recently, using the replay, of course, to show the events that we've been doing, but now we have a live race. And not just any race, it is a one-off event for SNL. It is a special event, that's right. They are back. If I'm not mistaken, the last time we did a one-off event was a year or two ago, maybe, when we did a 2-hour endurance race at Le Mans in Group 1 and Group 3 cars. Of course, we had some new Polish drivers on that occasion, one of them just barely beating Matt Psycho to the win on that occasion. M. Hyde, I believe, was his name. But this is wholly different. You'll see we are here for the SNL Radical Knockout event. Now, what that means is that we are going to have a 6-race tournament today. It is a one-day tournament. We're going to have 6 races, 3 rounds. It'll be 3 rounds with progressively less races in them. So the first round will be 3 races long, the second round will be 2 races long, and the final round, the third round, will be a 1-race finale. And so the way it's going to work is it'll be a knockout format. So we should have 12 drivers in the race. We've got 11 of them in the lobby. I am not racing. Unfortunately, I'd love to be racing. You can see a little Team Canada livery that I put together here when there was a possibility I'd be racing, but I will be commentating instead. But what an honor to commentate on this event. We've got people just screwing around already. And yeah, lots of people out on the track. Of course, you'll see that Special Stage Route X, as you can see here, is a humongous oval. It is, how long is this track? It is like 30 kilometers long. It's absurd. It is a 1-lap race because it's so long. So we'll have 3 races in the first round. After that, the points will be tallied up for those first 3 races, and we will have our championship order. Now, should we have 12 drivers, then it'll be the bottom 4. If we have less, then it'll be everybody up until the top 8. Will then be eliminated from the event. They're welcome to sit in and watch the event, or sit in the lobby and watch the event, but they can't drive anymore. Then we will have 2 races, in which we'll, again, afterwards, tally the points, and the top 4 will advance to our finale. Now, until last night, or this morning, depending on where in the world you are, it was not known the order of our 6 tracks. So I'll tell you our 6 tracks, not in the order they'll be driven in, but in the order of the options that are put in within the Discord server. So our first option 1 is Northern Isle Speedway. It's a 38 lap, with its special aspect being that it is a short track oval. So Northern Isle Speedway, it's the smallest oval in the game, if I'm not mistaken. It's a lot of laps, but it's still only going to be about a 10-minute race. This is sprint racing. Second option was Eiger Nordwand Reverse in Switzerland. That'll be a 9-lap race, and drivers will be faced with this special aspect. They will be on sports hards. So they'll have to, every race will be on racing softs, except the one at Eiger Nordwand, which will be on sports hards to reduce the grip and make it a trickier drive for our drivers. Option 3 is Alsace Test Course Reverse. That is a 13-lap race, and the special aspect being that it's a very short track with extreme elevation changes. So of course, if you can picture the main Alsace track, there's lots of banking, but the test track that takes the really heavily banked corner and the corner, a couple of corners around it, and then it connects them together. It's new on GT7. Of course, GT7 was released back in like 2022, but it was my point being that it was not on GT Sport, and I have just realized I need to set up the grid and check who's missing. Who is not in the lobby? Who is not in the lobby? I will continue on with the tracks in a moment. Special Stage Route X, Extreme Length Oval, bump drafting is permitted. Then we'll have a street circuit of Tokyo Expressway Central clockwise, and a heavy rain race in Spa-Francorchamps. That is not the order of the tracks. We'll go through the order of them in a moment. If I can figure out who is missing, I need to find my entry list so I can figure that out. Is it Aloe? No, Aloe's there. Where is my entry list? Wow, this is all unraveled rather quickly. That's fine. Where is it? There we go. That should give me my... Who's missing? It's Ben. Ben is gone. First guy I looked at on the entry list, and he's the one who's not here. That's good for me. Where is Ben? I'm just mentioning Ben in the Discord server to check if he is on his way. And in theory, the race is supposed to be starting this minute. Waiting for Ben, we will just give him a couple minutes to get in the lobby. We'll see if he is on his way. Has he been like leaving and joining and leaving the lobby? Sometimes that happens. His internet is not always the best, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Of course, in the meantime, I need to set up the grid. So, first off, I mean, obviously the order of the tracks, we're starting with Special Stage Route X. It's a one-lap race, of course. Then we will go to Tokyo Expressway, followed by Alsace Test Course. Then the points will be calculated, and I should mention, between rounds, the points are reset to give a level playing field going into the next round. So round 2 will then be, of course, back to 0 points for the top 8, Spa-Francorchamps, and Eiger-Nordwand Reverse. Points will be reset, and it is a winner-takes-all finale at Northern Isle Speedway. Now that is the order of the tracks. Now let's get set up with the order of the grid. So on pole position, this was all decided by random draw, both the track order and the grid order for round 1. Everything will be reverse order from the previous race. But for now, for the first round, it is a random order grid drawn last night with Kaiser on pole, Aloe alongside him on the front row. Ben should be third, but he has not joined the lobby yet. Hopefully he will do. Then it is Pat now in third, followed by Ajax. After that, well, you're going to see everyone I'm putting in, so I'm going to stop talking too much because I'm just going to distract myself. Alright, that should be our grid, unless Ben joins, in which case, of course, he will move up into third position on the grid. Hopefully he joins. We'll give him maybe another minute or so. And I believe I've got everything set up. I certainly hope I do. Circle time? I'm not quite sure what that means, Tiny Terror. Oh, as in, I think he means, is it time to get racing? Yes. Yes, it is, my friend. As we can see, a nice, lovely little meet-up between 3 drivers here. And Aloe ways down the track. Aloe's done the better part of a lap, actually. That's impressive. So this is, of course, everybody has been given the opportunity. They were told, hey, if you want to do a silly livery in SNL, now is the time to do it. And let me just double check that I have everything I need set up. And then we should be ready to... Well, that's a good thought, Ajax. Maybe we can summon Ben. And Pat in the chat saying, racing in NASCAR playoff knockout style on Daytona 500 night. How convenient. That honestly was not planned. I had no idea today was the Daytona 500. But that works very conveniently. So let's get on with it, I'd say. I don't think... Ben, if you are able to join, you are still welcome to do so, but you will obviously be at a points disadvantage. No points for the first round, from the first race for you, which will make getting out of the first round difficult, but not impossible. I think we are ready to go, so I will double check that the drivers are ready, and then we will get on with the race. And just a quick reminder to the drivers that bump drafting is allowed for this race. For this. So a quick reminder there that bump drafting is allowed for this race only. That is one of the gimmicks of this specific race, is that there is bump drafting allowed for our race at Special Stage Route X. That is the gimmick for this race, because it is an extreme length oval. All right, drivers are saying they are ready. Let's get going. Good luck, drivers. Kaiser Grim on pole, Aloe in second. Second row is Pat, Ajax, Slenderfellow, Wendigo, Gasman, Rob on drums, Tiny Terror, Silent Wolf, and rounding out the grid is Tamo. Let's get going for the first race of 3 in round 1. This will be fun. It's going to be a close one at the finish. I am expecting a photo finish for this race. I can't wait to see how this one goes. Let's get in, get spectating. Drivers will be getting ready now. You can see on the right-hand side of your screen is Kaiser. On the left-hand side is Aloe. We are just about ready for this. The lights are coming on. 5 red lights, and the lights are out, and we are racing at Special Stage Route X. It is a good getaway for Kaiser. Aloe's going to slot in behind him immediately, and as expected, we're immediately going to start something of a bump drafting train. And you can see everybody getting away cleanly. Nobody has been left behind. That is the most important thing. But look at the gap. Silent Wolf is 2.3 seconds off the lead, but rapidly gaining. Kaiser Grim out in front with Aloe behind. This is going to be a absolute bump draft slipstream fest right down to the line, where it is going to get very, very hectic. But look at that. There is a gap there between Wendigo and Tamo. This is a back little group of people. Tamo, Silent Wolf, Gasman, Tiny Terror, and Rob on drums. They are a little bit behind Wendigo and Ajax, but they are within a second. They should be able to keep slipstream. Let's go on board with Silent Wolf for a second. It looks like he is in the slipstream. He is gaining on Ajax ahead, which is a very, very good thing for those drivers in that back group. They need that. Look at the views. It is a long straight. Everybody is revved out. Everybody maxed out in 6th gear. Kaiser Grim will continue to lead the way, but it looks like Aloe's going for a move to the inside. Kaiser Grim drops down to 5th. Aloe gets slingshotted through into the lead. It's Aloe from Pat, from Ajax. Slenderfellow off to the side. He's going to pull into the slipstream now in that Freddy Krueger livery. I really hope I've said the right Freddy. in a horror livery. We've got some very entertaining liveries here, and this is good. This is very good. We've got the back of the field right on the front of the field again. We're on board with Gasman here. He is in last place, nobody behind him, as he sits here, and you can see first place. He's only a second off of first place. He is right here, and hello, Jam in the chat. Good to see you, as Silent Wolf's going to drop out of the slipstream and drop to the back. He's back into it, and you can see a few different lines here forming as we are nearing the first corner. Aloe leads in the middle lane. It's Pat behind him. Slenderfella comes out of the inside lane and goes to try and get into the slipstream of the two ahead. We've got a couple drivers off to the right. That looks like Tamo and Wendigo seeing if the two-man train can work, but I don't think it will. But, that being said, it's Tiny Terror who's going to try and join them, as Silent Wolf is falling off the back of this group. What has happened to Silent Wolf? I don't know what's happened to Silent Wolf, but somehow he's dropped off the back of the group as we enter the first corner of the race, and the penultimate corner of the race as well. This is a two-corner race. It's Pat in the high line, Aloe on the low line, but the low line seems more powerful as Pat drops back down to fourth and then slots down to the inside. But now Aloe going a little bit higher up onto the track in that middle lane, and it looks like Tamo is the furthest inside driver. He's got a little train of cars helping him out. He's got, who is that helping him? Tamo has a few drivers there. It's hard to tell with the glint of the sun on the cars. But this is... Oh, there's a bit of contact between Pat and Slenderfella. Both drivers just about hold it together, but that did not look comfortable, as Silent Wolf has really fallen off the back of the pack. I think Silent Wolf is the only driver we can rule out of this race so far, as he is 4 seconds off the lead and over 3 seconds off of Rob on drums. Even on strong slipstream, he would be too far back. Curling or SNL, was it ever a competition between the two? I hope not. Curling is very cool. I did it for one winter when I was young. It is very cool, don't get me wrong, but SNL, nothing beats SNL. It's Aloe in the lead, ahead of Ajax, ahead of Slenderfella. So Slenderfella is the back of this trio. The group behind will gain on him in a second. This bump drafting is proving effective, especially when you've got 5 people bump drafting, as opposed to 3. That is 3, 4, 5 people right there. Tiny Terror, Kaiser Grim, not far behind. They will continue to bump draft as well. Then we've got Silent Wolf behind. He is out of this. Tiny Terror and Kaiser are falling off the back a little bit. I think they're going to struggle to catch back up now, being only a train of 2 compared to the 5 or so people up here. There we go. Now the groups at the front have merged together. It is still Aloe in the lead, but it's Slenderfella up to second, ahead of Ajax. Ajax is out of the slipstream. Ajax has been knocked over to the left, and he is out of that, trying to get good camera angles. The cameras don't love this circuit. It is one humongous straight line, pretty much. I mean, it's I think, the longest track in the game. I certainly hope it's the longest track in the game. We are 6 kilometers, not into the track, but into this straight alone. Wow. And Pat is bump drafting Ajax to come back up to that top 5. Leading the way is still Aloe, but it looks like Tamo might be considering a move. Can he get a move done here? Aloe goes to the left. Tamo's going to be protected by that. Slenderfella might be left out to dry here. Is he going to be able to pull himself back into the slipstream? He does, just in front of Wendigo. Wendigo running another Arc Raiders livery. That is a beautiful livery, I gotta say. I quite like that. Very reminiscent of the livery he drove for the GTE season. But we have, I would say, 7 drivers right in the fight for this as we near the final corner. Rob on drums, a Tiny Terror, and Kaiser Grim are together, but they're battling a little bit. Look at that. Kaiser almost going for a move on Tiny Terror, and Silent Wolf, unfortunately, the lonely driver at the back of the grid. Aloe continues to lead the way. It's looking good for him. Pat behind Tamo. That is our top 3. Aloe from Tamo from Pat. Pat goes to the inside. He wants the low line for the final corner of this race. We are nearing the end of this race. It is going to be a photo finish. I guarantee it. There's contact there, even, between Slenderfella and Tamo. Pat is up to second, Slenderfella third, Wendigo's up to fourth, Ajax is back up to fifth, Tammo and Gasman at the back of this train. Gasman could get a slingshot here if he's lucky. It's going to be Aloe who continues to lead the way, but there will be people pulling out, trying to make a move. The last time we did an oval race, a proper oval race event, Pat was the winner. He was the overall winner over myself, Cool Dude Boy, and Wolfbane in the finale of that KTM Expo event. We did a World Cup event at Northern Ireland Speedway. Pat was the winner of that. He knows how to drive ovals, and he's gonna go to the outside now. He wants to make his move on Aloe. He pulls into the slipstream. It's gonna be close. Aloe leads the way. He's looking comfortable. It's Pat behind, though. The gap is hundredths of a second. Aloe leads. Can he keep it? Wendigo, no. Wendigo's in third. Pat's second. Slenderfella, Tammo, Ajax, Gasman, Rob on drums, Tiny Terror, and Kaiser. And Silent Wolf is going to be last place. Jam was second in that event. I must have misremembered the final four. I must have misremembered it. Who did I place in that wasn't actually there? So it was Jam who was second in the old event, but Jam not racing in this event. It's Aloe, the winner of the first event. Congratulations to him. He wins the special stage Route X race. Take screenshots of the results just to make sure I have all of them. I apologize for writing you out of History Jam. I was a couple of years ago. I apparently have misremembered it. But there you have it. There are your results. It is 3.5 tenths covering your top 7 in a photo finish. It was Aloe who came across the line first, ahead of Pat, Wendigo, Slenderfella, and Tammo in 5th. That is a British flag top 5, although of course 2 of them are Lithuanian, that being Wendigo and Tammo. Ajax in 6th, then Gasman in 7th, 8th is Rob on drums, 9th is Tiny Terror, 10th for Kaiser Grim, only 3.6 seconds off the lead. That's very close. And unfortunately, last but not least is Silent Wolf. Not a good start to the event for him, taking 11th place, 17 seconds back. So, as drivers congratulating Aloe in the chat, and I just need a second to put the results in, as actually it seems I have a helper. Thank you to the man who made me my spreadsheet to keep track of the results, and thank you to him for implementing the results. That makes things so much easier for me. Thank you very much. And I will make sure he can still see the correct results. And thank you. All right, the results are implemented, and I am ready to set up the next race. So, the next race, if we take a look at the briefing, the first round. The next round, all drivers remain in the race. In the event after the first race. It'll be after the third race that drivers will be knocked out, so everybody will remain in for the next round, or for the next race, which is Tokyo Expressway Central clockwise. And now, the lovely thing about this is that you guys are going to get to watch me fumble around trying to find the correct circuits. I was very lucky to find it very quickly just now. I think this is an 8-lap race. Is that correct? It is. And the gimmick of this track being that it is, of course, a street circuit. So nothing too fancy here. Bump drafting is no longer allowed, which will be tricky on a street circuit. I think there will be some lenience with that, I think. There's accidental bump drafts all the time. It happens, but drivers are requested to try to avoid bump drafting. And now if everybody could enter, so I can set the grid, of course the grid will be a reverse order of the previous race's finishing results. So what that means is that while Aloe won the race, that does mean he'll be at the back of the grid. Comparatively, the lonely finisher, Silent Wolf, will be on pole, and that is dangerous. Silent Wolf is rapid. He is one of the best drivers SNL has ever seen. He's a legend in GTE, and he is going to be quite something to watch from pole position. Silent Wolf on pole. It'll be Kaiser, who actually started the previous race on pole, on the front row again, starting second. Tiny Terror will be third. Followed by Rob on drums in fourth position. Then it'll be Gasman. Ajax. Where is Ajax? There is Ajax. Tamo. Slenderfella. A good result for him in that first round. And then, of course, our podium from the previous race. Wendigo was third, that means he'll start third last. Pat was second, which means he'll start second last. And Aloe was first, which means he'll start last. I believe that is the correct grid order. And we will be ready to go in just a moment. Just confirming something quickly. Okay, great. All right. I'll remind the drivers bump drafting is not allowed. As some drivers getting their opportunity to practice the circuit. Actually, I believe all drivers out on track right now practicing the circuit a little bit, which is good. I think they'll need that. This is a tricky track. All right. As Pat's saying, that one night event in the Expo is still the only thing he's ever won, and I'd say tonight you've got a shot at winning another thing. Second place in the first race. You're looking good on points, Pat. And I will check if the drivers are ready now. Alrighty. Drivers seem to be ready. We are, of course, on the streets of Tokyo, the highways of Tokyo, the expressway of Tokyo, I suppose I should say. Central clockwise. Drivers are looking good to go. I'm just going to double check one quick thing. Yeah. Alright, drivers are ready to go. Let's get this race underway. Race 2 of the SNL Radical Knockout event is underway. It'll be Silent Wolf from Kaiser, Tiny Terror, Rob on drums, and Gasman as your top 5 on the grid. And it'll be another entertaining race. This one should have more opportunities to overtake under braking, given there were no braking points on the previous circuit. There will be on this one. It's Silent Wolf from Kaiser Grim on the front row of the grid. 5 red lights. The lights are out and we are racing again, this time in Tokyo. It is a good start for Silent Wolf. It's an okay start from Kaiser, but Tiny Terror seems to have the jump on him. He'll pull into the slipstream right away. It is going to be almost single file, except there is that Wendigo going for a move possibly on Ajax even. No, Slenderfella, yes. As the street circuit already proving difficult, you could hear someone scraping along the walls there. Slenderfella is ahead of Aloe, but they are side by side. Up at the front, though, it's still Silent Wolf in the lead from Kaiser. Tamo is up to third. Tamo has gained a couple of positions. Rob on drums in fourth. Tiny Terror in fifth. Ajax in 6th. There's some drivers just clipping that wall there. Gasman's going to have a run on Ajax. To the inside. Can this yellow liveried beast get to the inside? He does. Wendigo pulls off the move as well in that Arc Raiders Radical. He makes the move on Ajax in that Zerg Radical, of course, based on StarCraft. And we have a lot of very cool liveries that we'll talk about if we have time, but this event is going to be very action-packed, as Kaiser is going to look for a move on Silent Wolf around the outside. He can't quite pull it off. Silent Wolf has the grip. Silent Wolf maintains the position as it looked like a couple drivers wide there. Into the wall goes a few of them, Ajax included, I believe, unless that was Pat. But Silent Wolf leads the way after the first lap, but it's Kaiser to the inside, towards turn 1. Can the Swede pull off the move and take the lead of the race? He does. There's contact. Silent Wolf is into the wall. Silent Wolf holds it together, manages to avoid damage, but does drop behind Tamo now, and Rob on Drums is going to look for an opportunity here as well. Rob on Drums, the American, is going to see what he can do. Can he pull off a move? As Sutkus saying hi in the chat. Good to see you, Sutkus. It's a shame you weren't able to race this time round, but good to see you in the chat. Kaiser leads the way. He's got a good gap of 5 tenths to Tamo, who sits in 2nd. Rob on Drums up into the podium positions in 3rd. Silent Wolf is dropping back. They're 3 wide. Tiny Terror ahead of Wendigo, ahead of Gasman. What a move. Tiny Terror into 5th position, but it's Gasman on the inside. Can he pull off the move? Tiny Terror drops a couple as Gasman and Wendigo are through now. Tiny Terror dropping back more. Tiny Terror has damage on the front of the car. He drops a number of positions. That's Ajax and Slenderfella through as well. Aloe's going to look for an opportunity. He's through on Tiny Terror. Oh, it's Aloe's round. Aloe, the winner of our first race, spins around. It's a quick recovery. He's still in it, but he's behind Pat even. He is not in a good position. That is not good for Aloe, as Tamo has taken the lead. Tamo ahead of Kaiser. Kaiser clips the wall. Gotta hold it together. Gotta keep in the slipstream if he wants a chance of winning this race. But it is Tamo out in front, looking comfortable. The Lithuanian leads the way from the Swede and the American. It's the Mauritian coming to the outside of the next proper corner, though. On Rob on Drums, these two are old-timers of SNL. Rob on Drums more so than Silent Wolf, but both of them have been here a long time, since before the days of GTE. But Rob on Drums, of course, has been here from the very start. Silent Wolf threw back up into 3rd. It's his time to reclaim positions. Wendigo in 5th, ahead of Gasman. Gasman's struggling to keep up with him a little bit here, but he'll try his best in that blue and yellow Parmalat livery. I kind of doubt that's how you pronounce that, but we'll go with it. In his horror livery is Slenderfella, ahead of Tiny Terror in an LMP2 livery, although I've unfortunately already forgotten which team this was supposed to be. I do think it's a fantastic looking livery, possibly the best one on the grid. Ajax ahead of Pat. Pat obviously in a Red Bull livery. If you weren't able to figure that out, I'd be a little bit disappointed. And Aloe in his 7-Eleven livery. Tamo leads the way. He's got a 4-second lead. It was a 118 flat on the previous lap. A 120.2 from Silent Wolf, who's up into 2nd ahead of Kaiser Grim now. Kaiser is there ahead of Rob, who is side by side with Wendigo. It's the 2nd Lithuanian. They're 3 wide. Kaiser drops behind both of them, but Rob on Drums now ahead of Wendigo properly. Wendigo and Kaiser are side by side. Kaiser's going to drop into the slipstream. Kaiser's got damage that has just fixed itself. So in that, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that band's name, but it is a livery based on the album cover of a metal band. Behind Wendigo's Arc Raiders Radical, it's taking a lot of effort not to say Arc Raiders Ferrari. Of course, that's what I was saying all GTE season. But Wendigo up into 4th ahead of Kaiser, and he's going to look to put pressure on Rob on Drums ahead, but Rob looking for a podium. He got his first full race podium at Formula X Season 11 here at Tokyo Expressway. It was a different layout, but it was still Tokyo Expressway. Rob on Drums got his podium at his maiden podium of Formula X. It was a sweet moment. Can he pull off a podium in this event here as well at Tokyo? Wendigo looks to the inside. We're here on lap 5 of this 8-lap race. All drivers on racing softs. And Wendigo makes the move. That was slick from Wendigo. The Lithuanian is through. But can he hold the position? The slipstream is powerful in these cars. To the inside goes Rob on drums. He can't quite make the move, but can he get a better run? It looks like it. He's going to challenge Wendigo to the inside of the next corner. No, he thinks better of it. He's going to have to sit behind for the time being. The American is looking for opportunities here, but it is Tamo out in the lead. Absolutely dominating this round. He's got a 6.8 second lead, 7 seconds now, ahead of Silent Wolf, who's dropping back from him at a rate of knots. Wendigo only 7/10 off of Silent Wolf, who sits in second, of course. But that could change soon if Wendigo is able to pull off the move. He is on the move, that is for sure. Rob on drums in 4th, Kaiser in 5th. He's coming under pressure from Gasman now. Aloy has made his way all the way back up into 7th following that spin at that very corner that we just saw some people hitting the wall through. Slenderfella in 8th, 9th is Tiny Terror. Pat is 10th. Ajax has dropped all the way down to 11th. So that is going to be a very small haul of points for 11th there as it stands, but he is of course on provisional pole for the next race, which is good news for him, of course. You always want to be in a good position on the grid. Now these cars provide some excellent racing action, so being at the back of the grid isn't disaster. These top 3 here, probably the top 3 drivers in the league right now, quite possibly. Tamo, Wendigo, and Silent Wolf. They are 3 of the best drivers we have in SNL, and they are fighting it out for the lead. Well, Tamo is well out in the lead, but Wendigo and Silent Wolf, as Wendigo pulls off a move to the inside of Silent Wolf. That is a great battle to see, and Silent Wolf actually has damage, which is going to give an opportunity to Rob on drums, of course. The American lurking ever closer to the back of the Mauritian. He's going to look for an opportunity. There's contact with the wall for the Mauritian. It's going to have to be the outside line for Rob on drums. Can he pull it off? Does he have the grip? Not quite yet, but he's going to slip into the slipstream. Gasman has gotten past Kaiser into 5th. Kaiser is in 6th now. Aloy pulling away in 7th. There's contact. Oh, is that Slender fella into the wall? And he's going to get going. Avoid the pit wall there, buddy. Just about makes it through all right. But he has dropped down to 11th. Pat down to 10th as Ajax makes the move into 9th. Tiny Terror ahead of him now. Aloy in 7th position. 6th is Kaiser. And it's Gasman challenging Rob on drums. If you want old drivers of SNL, the old guard, so to speak, it is these 2, Gasman and Rob on drums, here from day 1. Gasman, he's in the slipstream. Can he find an opportunity? Or apologies, Rob on drums in the slipstream. Gasman is through. Rob on drums in the slipstream is going to look for an opportunity as Kaiser's going to try and slide his way up towards this duo. Rob on drums, ooh, a bit of contact with the wall. That'll hurt his opportunities to get Gasman. Gasman, another one of the fastest drivers. He is a champion of SNL, of course, in 4th position here. He is a fantastic driver. I think we have 3 champions of SNL on the grid, going by Drivers' Championships, of course. By Constructors' Championships, we have a lot of champions on this grid. Tamo leads the way. Wendigo behind. 8 seconds back. It's a further 2.7 seconds to Silent Wolf, who's starting to be in a bit of a no man's land with over 2 seconds back to Gasman, who is still under pressure from Rob on drums. We're on the final lap of this race, and the drivers are still packed together. Kaiser is not far off the back of Rob on drums. Aloy, he's in a no man's land. 12 seconds in front, 6 seconds behind. Tiny Terror, he's not free from pressure from Pat and Ajax behind. Slenderfella is looking to pressure Ajax into the wall. Ajax does not have damage, Slenderfella does, so despite the contact with the wall, Ajax should be safe. Tamo is looking ever safer out in front by the moment. It is evening out here at Tokyo Expressway. The drivers are finding this to be a tricky track. This is the track that is going to challenge drivers the most in terms of trying to avoid the walls, but it's Tamo who's going to come across the line. victorious in the second race. That will be excellent from him. Wendigo is going to come and make it a Lithuanian 1-2. Marisha finds the podium with Silent Wolf. Gasman's going to come across in 4th. Rob on drums in 5th. Kaiser gets 6th. Aloe will be 7th. In a few seconds' time, that top 6 dominant ahead of the rest, but even ahead of the rest of the top 6, Tamo was dominant in this race. Aloe across the line for 7th. Tiny Terror, 8th. It'll be Pat in 9th. Ajax still under pressure from Slenderfella. Tiny Terror, 8th. Pat 9th. Ajax will come home in 10th. It'll be Slenderfella in 11th. Not to worry, though. That means he'll get pole position for the next race. That is your race event. It is victory for Tamo. In first position, race position 6. That is fantastic from him. I'll screenshot the results again quickly. And we'll see if I have a helper for the points again. I do already. Wow, that was fast. And that is accurate. Thank you again to my helper. All right, we already have our results. And Wendigo apologizing if he made contact with anybody. Good sportsmanship. Always good to see people apologizing. Not even certain if he'd made contact, saying if, but perhaps he did. Either way, and Tiny Terror getting a clean race bonus despite lots of murdering and being murdered. Seems like it was a chaotic race, but I think that was to be expected from this event. That is Tokyo Expressway over with, and that means our next race will be for the final race of round 1. This is the final race that everyone will compete in. For the final race, it will be Alsace Test Course Reverse. And now, oh wow, I found it very quickly. I'm not used to finding circuits quickly in this game. And of course, for this event, it will be a 13-lap race. I don't know why I pronounced 13 like that. But, 13 laps. Let's do this. There we go. Loaded into the track. You can see how strange of a track this is. It's a short enough one that I may actually drive an example lap for you. As we wait for people to enter the track, I will enter the track and just give you a quick demo lap of this track. If it'll let me leave the pits. There we go. Alright, I will give you a quick demo lap while we wait for everybody to enter. This may or may not also be an excuse to show off my Team Canada livery that I'm a bit proud of, given we are racing during the Olympics. This is my Team Canada livery. Well, alright, so we start off with this banked corner that I've just messed up quite severely. Then we will come down towards the big uphill. Look at this. It's hard braking into here. It's just a bit of lag for me. And then the steepest uphill you've probably ever seen. Steeper than Eau Rouge and Radio at Spa, I would say. Down the hill, I have damage on my car, so my car is trying to swerve a bit. There we go. Into the hairpin here. Let's see if I can actually... Nope, I cannot get my braking point right. Damage again. Cool. Into that hairpin. This has been a very poor track guide. A kink to the right. And here is the start-finish line. And then, of course, turn 1 was not actually that banked corner. Turn 1 is this kink to the right, and then the banked corner to the left. This will be a very interesting circuit to see a race at. I think we'll see some good battling here, as Aloe has left the room. Hopefully he's able to rejoin. I'll set the rest of the grid, and add him in once he has joined back. I need to unenter the race. There we go. So, first for this race will be Slender Fella on pole. I'm just going to actually also message Aloe, just double checking if he's rejoining. Hopefully he does. So, first will be Slender Fella. Second place will be Ajax. Third will be Pat. If I can find him. There he is. Right at the bottom there. Up to the top. Next will be Tiny Terror. Followed by Aloe. Where's Aloe? Right, Aloe's gone. We'll add Aloe if we can between Tiny Terror and the next one, which is Kaiser. So Kaiser is bumped up to 5th following Aloe's disconnect there. Hopefully Aloe's able to rejoin. Then it'll be Rob on drums, Gasman, Silent Wolf, Wendigo, and then Tamo, last but not least. We'll give Aloe a minute to rejoin. He says PS5 froze 2 secs. So he should be back shortly. So we will give Aloe his chance to rejoin. And in the meantime, why don't we look through some of the liveries? We've got Wendigo here with this Arc Raiders livery. PlayStation VR 2. He uses VR, of course, to drive. So we've got Wendigo in that Arc Raiders Radical. Silent Wolf. I don't know that there's a title sponsor to this car. It is a sweet-looking car, but I don't know that there's a title sponsor to it. And I can't read the writing on the side, because I don't know that language. But Silent Wolf in a very nice-looking car, I'll give him that. In the name that I'll butcher again, Parmalat, livery for Gasman. Kaiser, in, let's see if I can actually pronounce this name. I'm gonna guess that it's a Swedish band, so I'm gonna guess that it's pronounced Goira. Because I doubt it's Gojira. I'm gonna guess that that's Goira for Kaiser's livery. Tamo, in a Castrol livery. A very nice looking red livery. Slenderfella in his horror livery. As he exits the track. Rob on drums in a Tamaya livery. I know I'm supposed to recognize this. I know I don't recognize it. Ah, there's Grogu on the nose of the car. Good to see. But, and Sukka's saying that the VR on the hill is so steep, and I bet it is. Ajax, of course, in that Zerg car. Zerglings on the side of his car. This is a StarCraft reference. So not the only driver with a video game livery, though. Pat, of course, in his Red Bull livery, based on the new Red Bull livery in F1. Aloe, 7-Eleven. Big gulp, it says on the front of his car. And that actually means we have everybody. Gasman is in a 40 F1 1996 livery. Never doubt Jam's F1 knowledge. That is something I would say I have good knowledge of Formula 1. That is not something I could have pulled out of the back of my brain. Now, granted, that's also from before I was born, but that's my only defense, really, is that I wasn't born yet when that car was racing. Gasman says, indeed it is. And Aloe, I'll have to double-check where he went. Aloe goes between Tiny Terror and Kaiser. Aloe 5th on the grid. There we go. And we'll check if drivers are ready. This is the race that matters. No matter where you are in the standings, as it stands, there will be 3 drivers knocked out. Those 3 drivers in a knockout position are Pat, Ajax and Slenderfella. I think. Hang on. That doesn't quite seem right. No, that is not correct. Ignore me. That was the bottom three from the last race, not the bottom three in the standings. My apologies. The bottom three in the standings currently are Tiny Terror, Ajax, and Kaiser. But they are not far off of the drivers ahead. Pat is actually sitting very nicely in the standings. He's in 5th. I apologize for that scare for Pat if he's listening. And drivers are ready. Let's get this race underway. Oh, have I got the right laps? I might have messed up the laps. Let me check that. I think now I think of it, I think I've got the right number of laps. I do. Okay, thank God. I thought I'd messed up the laps for a moment. We're good. We're good. We are ready for Alsace. It's Slenderfella on pole from Ajax. Scared myself pretty badly there. Slenderfella on pole from Ajax. 5 red lights and the lights are out. We are racing here at Alsace. It's a good getaway from pole position once again. Slenderfella out into the lead, comfortably ahead of Ajax. It is Tiny Terror putting pressure on him, though, as we go into the banking. This is going to be a test of drivers. Gasman off the track into the grass and wall. That is not good for him. Slenderfella leads the way, though. He's got 4 tenths back to Ajax. It's side by side for Kaiser and Tiny Terror. Up the hill. The cars will be struggling not to take flight over the crest of this hill. Oh, Silent Wolf just catches the car. He's going to be a little bit off the back there, but he'll be able to catch back up, I'm sure. Slenderfella into the braking zone for the final real corner here. And he'll get going. He'll lead the first lap as there's contact. Cars into the wall. Tamo into the wall. Rob on drums into the wall. They get going. They will be alright. They'll make it away. It's Slenderfella in the lead. Kaiser down the inside of the banking. He gets Ajax through turn 2. Ajax is going to be under pressure here from Tiny Terror. Wendigo's up to 5th already. Can Wendigo pull off a move on Tiny Terror? Tiny Terror's going to look to get a move on Ajax first. It's going to be a moving target for Wendigo. Is it going to be Ajax or Tiny Terror that he has to overtake? Could he go for both? He's going to go for it on Ajax on the inside, over the crest of the hill. He's going to get a better run, he's hoping here, but Ajax will have slipstream from Tiny Terror. This is the battle for 3rd place in this race. Tiny Terror in the middle. They're almost 3 wide. Ajax on the outside. Can he maintain the position? Wendigo up into 4th. He's got the position over Ajax. He's going to look to put pressure on Tiny Terror, who sits in the podium positions. Slenderfella continues to lead this race onto lap 3, into the banking for the 3rd time now. Kaiser sits behind. Tiny Terror on the inside. A tiny bit of contact with Wendigo, but he's doing it nicely. There is not too much contact there. They'll get away from it cleanly. There's a bit more contact, a bit of wheel banging. What is racing without wheel banging into the wall for Tiny Terror? Wendigo's through safely now. Ajax is going to look for an opportunity on him now. Tiny Terror will be ruining that mistake. Aloe in 6th, then it's Silent Wolf. 10th is Tamo, ahead of Pat, but only just barely. Rob on drums in 10th, and 11th is Gasman, who's really struggling in this race. Slenderfella will lead us across the line once more, but he's got pressure from Kaiser, and oh, look at that. It's Wendigo looming behind them. The Arc Raiders livery, this is the guy who was runner-up in our GTE season just now. He was only a half a second off winning the championship. Wendigo's going to go for the lead here. It's a double overtake for first. Slenderfella back through, though. Can he hold it on the inside? Slenderfella is going to have the position on Wendigo. Wendigo almost in the wall there. Slenderfella is still going to lead this race a little bit longer, but Wendigo, can anybody deny him the lead here? Surely not. Wendigo to the inside. Can he pull off the move, or is it going to be a better run for Slenderfella? It is a nice run for Slenderfella, who's going to hold the position onto lap 5. Slenderfella is defending for his life here. Wendigo to the inside. Surely this is where he gets it. Surely Wendigo's got him now. No, Kaiser's going to swoop around the outside of Wendigo himself. Can the Swede pull off the move? He's going to have the inside line for the kink to the right, but it'll be the outside for the true braking zone of the uphill left-hander. Tiny Terror's on the back of this. Tiny Terror could have an opportunity here to put himself back on the podium. There's contact! Wendigo nearly spins around. Tiny Terror into second for a moment, but it's Kaiser who's going to jump back ahead of him. Tiny Terror into third. Ajax ahead of Wendigo. Wendigo's dropped several positions here. 3 wide into the hairpin. Aloe on the inside. Can Aloe make the move on both of them? He does, but it's going to be a switchback for Wendigo. Wendigo through on Aloe. Wendigo into fourth. Ajax is the big loser from that. He drops behind Wendigo and Aloe. Tamo's going to be looking at this thinking, I can get in on this. I can get a good position here. He won the last round. He could get into a very strong position for this one. Slenderfella still leads the way though. He's trying to pull away. He's got nearly a second to Kaiser. It's 9/10 to the Swede behind. But Kaiser doesn't want to give this up. Kaiser, he is in the hunt for this. He wants this. He wants this bad. Tiny Terror is in a good position now as well. I'm good friends with Tiny Terror. I've raced the Radicals with him a number of times over the years. He is strong in these cars. He can maneuver them. He can battle with them. He knows how to do this. Tiny Terror is in a good position. He's in third. He is ahead of Wendigo. Wendigo, though, there was a bit of contact a lap or two ago. We're on lap 7 now. Tiny Terror is sitting in the podiums with Kaiser and Slenderfella, who leads the way with a second gap out in front. Gasman's still in last. Pat is in 10th. 9th is Rob on drums. 8th is Silent Wolf trying to climb his way up the field. Ajax now entering this train of cars. He's at the back of it, but he's not out of it. Same with Tamo. Then it's Aloe behind Wendigo. He's so close behind Wendigo, but Wendigo's even closer behind Tiny Terror. Wendigo will go on board with him here. He's going to have an opportunity on Tiny Terror. You can see Tiny Terror to the right there. Down the inside goes Wendigo, on board with Tamo to get a better view of this. Wendigo on the inside gets the position on Tiny Terror. That was a sweet move from the Lithuanian. As we enter lap 8, Tamo has the fastest lap of the race, but it's a personal best there for Wendigo. A 48.2 for him. 48.0 is the fastest lap of the race. Of course, no point for fastest lap in these races. Sarlacc here in the chat. Good to see you, Sarlacc. I was sad to see that you wouldn't be racing today, but good to have you in the chat. At least Slenderfella is in first, but it's Wendigo who's just pulled off a move in the background there on Kaiser. Wendigo, it's not going to be smooth sailing from here, though. Slenderfella's already proven that he can defend from Wendigo surprisingly well. It's not an easy task to defend from Wendigo. He gets through when he wants to. He's one of the fastest drivers in the league. Nursing an injury is Sarlacc. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope it's a fast recovery for you, Sarlacc. We'd love to see you back in SNL again soon. Slenderfella, a bit of a block defense there. But it's going to be to the inside for Wendigo, and he might just have this here. Slenderfella, I just know Slenderfella's going to try and outbrake him here. Can Slenderfella maintain the position? Late on the brakes, I was right. He outbrakes Wendigo. He's got the position still. Slenderfella, absolutely fantastic. Wow, he is not letting this go. Slenderfella in the lead. Wendigo's got a good run, though. Surely he's got him here. Slenderfella on the outside. He'll have to slingshot through to get back ahead now, because Wendigo's really got the position. I think Slenderfella's outbraked himself there. On lap 10 of 13, Wendigo leads the way. It was not easy for him to get here, though. He's made it finally, though. Slenderfella is still fighting for it, though. He's really going for it. Kaiser in third, but it's Tamo who's going to slide up into third on his outside. That'll turn into the outside, or inside here, then rapidly into the outside again. Oh, Slenderfella dropped back a little bit. Tamo's going to be up into second for a moment. Not quite. Slenderfella does get the position back. There's some tire squealing back here, as we do still have battles going on back here. Oh, Pat has spun around. Gasman's still ways off the back there. Rob on drums sits in ninth behind Ajax. These cars slide a lot. This is very entertaining battling. Aloe behind Silent Wolf, who is struggling in 6th. Tiny Terror in 5th behind Kaiser. It's side by side for Tammo and Slenderfella. Tammo's got the position for now, but if Slenderfella can get in the slipstream, he might be able to make a move back up over the crest of the hill. On board with Slenderfella. Is he going to look for an opportunity here? Not quite. It's a little bit of a mistake from Tammo, but that is a very unsettling corner for the car. Kaiser on the outside of Tiny Terror. Tiny Terror on the inside, brakes hard. Can he get the position? Can he take 4th position? He does for the moment, but Tyler got him back with a nice little switch back there. The Swede is through on the Brit. It's Lithuanian 1-2 once again, but it's in a different order this time. This time it's Wendigo ahead of Tammo, as Slenderfella just about keeps it on track there. That was close to the grass. And if you hit the grass here on this banked corner, you hit the wall. There is no question of that. Ajax ahead of Rob on drums. It's a Lowy behind, though. The German. The Canadian ahead of the American, ahead of the Brit. We've got a very multinational grid here. That's one of my favorite bits of SNL, is just how many different nationalities we have. We have Lithuanians, we have Mauritians, Brits, Canadians, Americans. We've got just a little bit of everything. It's a Lowy on the inside. He gets the move on Rob on drums. Rob's not going to give this up, though. He wants to fight this back. Gasman is now ahead of Silent Wolf. Silent Wolf is having a tough time here. Pat in 11th. It's the final lap for Wendigo, who's looking comfortable ahead of Tammo. Tammo in 2nd. 3rd is Slenderfella. 4th is Kaiser. 5th is Tiny Terror. Kaiser needed this result. Kaiser was in a tricky position going into this, in the knockout position. Slenderfella needed this too. He's not in a great position. Actually, we've got a lot of drivers who really needed a good result here, getting a good result. Tiny Terror in 5th, but it's going to be Wendigo now, rounding the final corner. He's going to come across the line to be victorious in Alsace. He wins the 3rd race. The final win of round 1. Tammo 2nd, Slenderfella on the podium, Kaiser 4th, 5th is Tiny Terror. It's side by side. It's it's Ajax from Aloe from Rob on drums. Wow, that was close between those three. Silent Wolf's got Gasman in the end, and Pat will come home last but not least. I hope he'll be safe to make it through to round 2. Pat in 11th. Comes across the line in the Red Bull livery. 11th place for the Brit. But it's Wendigo, victorious. What a familiar sight. Wendigo winner, raised 9 positions raised 9. That was a chaotic one, but Wendigo is going to take victory ahead of Tammo, ahead of Slenderfella, from Kaiser, Tiny Terror, Ajax, Aloe, Rob on drums, Silent Wolf, and Gasman. Pat saying not too sure, wouldn't be surprised if he's out after the past 2 races. Aloe saying this is crazy. I hope you mean that in a good way, because that is, of course, the goal of this event. Was that really the standings? Wow. Thank you again to my helper, Cool Dude Boy, for sorting out the standings for me. Pat, you are safe, despite your concern. Our championship standings. The points will, of course... Oh no. Tiny Terror saying I had a TV off pop-up covering the whole screen during the hill on 1 lap. That's terrifying. So, unfortunately, this is where we say goodbye to 3 of our drivers, and frankly, it's a shocking 3 to me. We'll go from first to last in the standings. Points will be reset after this round, but first to last in the meantime. Wendigo takes first position in the final race, and first position in the standings for round 1. Tammo 2nd. Aloe 3rd. After victory in the first round, that is our 3 race winners so far, first, second, and third, of course. Slenderfellow will go 4th, 5th Kaiser, 6th is Gasman, 7th is Rob on drums, and 8th is Pat. That is our top 8 advancing to the next round. Unfortunately, that does mean Ajax, Tiny Terror, and Silent Wolf are eliminated. I'll put that in the chat in case any of them are not watching the stream. But there is more to say than just that, because it was actually Countback that took them out of the championship, or of the tournament for Ajax and Tiny Terror. You see, Pat, Ajax, and Tiny Terror all had 26 points following the first 3 rounds, but Pat had a 2nd position in the first race. Ajax had a 6th position in round 3, and Tiny Terror had a 5th position in round 3. So 5th and 6th, not good enough. Pat, 2nd though, does keep himself in the tournament. Wow. Actually, I apologize. Ajax actually had 2 6th positions, but neither of those as good as the 5th that Tiny Terror had, and that 5th was not as good as Pat's 2nd. Shouldn't Pat be ahead of Ajax then, or Tiny Terror be ahead of Ajax if he has a 5th then? But either way, that's your 3 eliminated: Ajax, Tiny Terror, Silent Wolf. I'll just clarify, eliminated drivers may spectate. Well, with every winner, there is a loser. And in this case, there's 3 so far. As you get to watch me struggling to remember how to spell the word spectate. I think I've got that right. So, Tiny Terror, Ajax, and Silent Wolf are out. It's a shocking 3, but that's the 3 that are gone. Now there will be a points reset. And now we go to the next race, which will be a very interesting one. The next track we're going to will be, for the first race of round 2, will be Spa-Francorchamps in full wet conditions. It is a 4-lap race. I will double check that I've got the lap count right. Yes, a 4-lap race. Heavy rain. What we do is we go to the furthest weather option, which is thick cloud with torrential rain. Change event setting. Oh, I might not have allowed wets as tires. Hang on. I do need to check if we're allowed to, if I've got the lobby settings allowing wets. Tiny Terror has unfortunately left the lobby. But you're out. I don't blame you too much. And let me just double check if I've got it. Well, I mean, I can check if these guys have full vets on. Rob on drums, I will warn you, you are on soft compound tires currently. Even ignoring how horrific that would be, that is illegal. Just so drivers can enter now, except of course Ajax and Silent Wolf. Ajax has also left the lobby. Silent Wolf, though, please do not enter. You're welcome to spectate. But other drivers, everybody else, please enter. That includes you, Pat. Congratulations to our 8 who make it to round 2. Points are, of course, now reset. It is a level playing field. Rob on drums saying you got punted at the hairpin. A lot of comments I've missed in the chat. Gasman thought he was out. Gasman also talking about his helmet in the chat. Jam said he thought it was a Pedro Diniz. I don't know how to pronounce that name, I'm sorry. But a Pedro Diniz or Dinez helmet. Gasman saying, kind of, Jam, actually Carlos Pache. Diniz's helmet was modeled on that one. So you let me... And is Gasman in by 1 point? No. Gasman is in by 1 point, actually. So is Rob on drums. So that was quite close for a number of drivers, actually. Which is fantastic. Many drivers surprised they survived. Is Pat just buying the wet tires? And I'll just double check that all 8 drivers are entered and on wets. Wets. Yes, everybody on wets. Very good. Very good. Very nice. We will change the grid order now to get it accurately set up. I can do that, though, because I can just reload this. Okay, reloading is... There we go. All right. Pat will be on pole position. Then it will be Gasman. Followed, Silent Wolf is out, so he's not next. Then it'll be Rob on drums in third. Aloe, fourth. Fifth will be Kaiser, as both Ajax and Tiny Terror are eliminated. Slenderfella sixth. Tamo seventh, and Wendigo eighth. There you have it. That's your grid order. It's a heavy rain race. 4 laps. Pat, you are through to round 2. Do not worry. You have done very well. Bottom 7 in the first round, separated by 3 points. That was how insanely close this event is. And that is the beauty of events like these. I will double check if the drivers are ready. 2 races in round 2, then we go into a winner-takes-all finale. This one will be hectic. A reminder, Pat, Gasman, Rob on drums, Aloe, Kaiser, Slenderfella, Tamo, Wendigo. Those are the ones who have advanced. And that is also the order of your grid for today. Or for this race. We have a lot of races today. We're halfway through the event, though. Let's get this race underway. Spa-Francorchamps, one of the greatest circuits in the world. It's been known to hit by some pretty torrential rain. 2021, probably the most infamous moment of heavy rain at Spa. Although, was it 2000? 2002? Or 2001? Either way, whenever Michael Schumacher hit David Coulthard, that was also a very well-known moment of Spa in the rain. The lights are coming on. We've got 5 red lights, 4 laps of Spa. We are racing here at Spa-Francorchamps. It's a good getaway for Pat. On pole position, Gasman on the outside, down towards turn 1. Somebody's not gotten going. Wendigo's not been able to get going. What has happened there? If he calls a start glitch, we may be able to restart this race for him. But he's still not gotten moving. It's Pat from Rob, from Gasman, down towards Eau Rouge and Radio. We might see some chaos here. Pat in the lead. Oh, sliding. All of them are sliding. There's so much spray. The visibility is abysmal. Wendigo's still not got going. Oh, he's going now. Pat in first. Rob on drums second. Third is Gasman. They're side by side. Tamo and Kaiser. It's going to be 3 wide, says Aloe, as he goes to the inside, down towards Lake Home. Can he make the move? Can he? Can he not? He does! Oh, there's a bit of contact. More contact! That was bound to happen in a race like this, though. Pat is looking strong. He's got a second to Gasman. Oh, as he nearly loops it. Gasman in second, Rob in third, fourth is Tamo, fifth is Aloe, sixth is Kaiser, seventh is Slenderfella. Poor Wendigo down in last. That will severely hurt his chances. Pat in first. Ooh, can he keep it there? Oh, he does. Good. It is looking so sketchy for all 8 of these drivers, but the top 7 in a queue still. It's Pat into the steep left-hander of, why can't I remember the name of this corner? I know the name of this corner. Pual. That's the name of that corner. Through the left-hander though, Pat maintains the lead, a second ahead of Gasman, who is under pressure from Tamo. Rob on drums with a tighter line than Tamo there. Will it pay off? Look at that. Look at the water droplets on the front of the windshield, and look at the spray coming off the cars in front. This is hectic. Aloe in fifth. It's a bit wide for Kaiser. Will Slenderfella be given an opportunity here? He's hunting down Kaiser. Can he get an opportunity here? Can he pull up towards the drivers in front? It's Pat, who's looking like he'll be good to lead us through to the end of lap 1. I shouldn't count my chickens before they hatch, though. He's still got the bus stop chicane to navigate. This is a tricky braking point, as he hits the brakes hard. Look at the rain. You can hear the rain pouring down. Well, you probably can't hear it over my voice, actually, but I can hear the rain pouring down. Pat in the lead. He'll lead us across the line at the end of the first lap, but Tamo is going to be putting pressure on him now. Tamo is somebody we expect to be a strong driver at every event. He was rapid in GTE, 1 hour a 1 hour Nordschleife race, about a second and a half ahead of both Wendigo and Bunnies. Gasman in third. Fourth is Rob on drums, fifth is Aloe, sixth is Slenderfella, and seventh is Kaiser. Wendigo is gaining on the group, but I don't think it'll be enough across 4 laps. Pat still leads the way, but Tamo's going to be alongside him now, out of Eau Rouge and Radio, as there was a big snap of oversteer for Pat. Well done to hold the car. He'll have to slot into the slipstream now. The Red Bull driver is going to see what he can do. Hard on the brakes into Lacombe now. Tamo maintains the position. Ooh, is he going to run wide? Not quite. Just about keeps it on track. That was impressive, actually. He looked like he was going to run a little bit wide. Managed it nicely, though. Rob on drums on the inside. There's a bit of contact with the Lowy. Make it through the corner, guys. Oh, as Rob on drums nearly spins. Wow. These drivers are having so much difficulty keeping the cars going forwards. Slenderfella, who was 7th last time I looked at him, up into 4th now. Wow, he is gaining positions. Kaiser is having trouble. He's dropped down to 7th, but he's still there. He's right behind Rob on drums. It is chaos in this race. This is fantastic. Through goes Slenderfella, says Ajax, and absolutely, that was sublime from him. Sublime. That's not a word I use frequently, but I do like it. Tamo in first. Through Ajax, remind me what these corners are, what this chicane is called, please. I know it's one of your favorite corners on the track. I can't remember it. I know I should. Fangya chicane. It's the Fangya chicane. I know my corners. Pat in second, though. Gasman in third. Fangya chicane. Thank you, Ajax, for that confirmation. Gasman in third. Slenderfella is closing in behind him. He's looking for an opportunity here. Oh my god! Slenderfella, what a save! How has he kept that going forwards? I do not know, but wow! Aloe in 5th. It's a miracle we haven't seen any spins yet. I don't understand it. Kaiser, no way, on the inside. Can he pull off the move? Through Blanchimont. He gets Rob on drums. There's a little bit of contact, but he is through. On the inside, though, is Rob on drums at the bus stop chicane. That'll turn to the outside. No, it'll be the inside as he slots through very nicely there. And as Kaiser's a little bit off track. Who will get the better run here? Kaiser or Rob on drums? It looks to be Rob on drums, which is probably a good thing given he stayed on track. Tamo out of turn 1, has a 1.8 second lead over Pat. Pat doing well to try and keep close with Tamo. Should Tamo make a mistake, Pat will have an opportunity, but Pat for now is looking like he'll be second. Gasman in third, Slenderfella in fourth, fifth is Aloe, sixth is Rob on drums, seventh is Kaiser, eighth is Wendigo. The poor man who couldn't get the car going off the start. I wonder what happened to him there. Tamo is first, second is Pat, third is Gasman, and I honestly cannot keep the smile off my face. This has been a fantastic event so far. We're only halfway through. As was that Aloe makes a move on Slenderfella into the Lake Home chicane. Slenderfella, though, could it be a switchback for the Brit? On another Brit. Oh, there's contact, but he's going to make it through. No, not quite. Onto the curb, onto the AstroTurf. Well done to keep the car going there. That AstroTurf is not easy. He's going to look to the inside. There's a yellow flag. Kaiser is around. We have had a spin now. Kaiser goes round. The Swede is not going to be finishing any higher than 7th in this race, it seems like, unless we see more calamity for the drivers ahead. It is ultra close racing, though. Tamo is looking strong. Pat behind, then it's Gasman, then we get to the really close stuff. It's Aloe from Slenderfella, from Rob on drums. The three of them, all within about a second and a half. Slenderfella in the middle of this trio will go on board with Rob on drums. We can see the drivers in front. How will the American manage the Fania chicane? More road car events, please, says Silent Wolf. And I do not blame him for that request. This is fantastic. SNL, I think, will really benefit from the fact that we are going for these events. We want to do these one-off events. It is something that has been sorely missed in SNL. They aren't the easiest to organize. There's nothing... It is understandable that they have not been organized much in recent times. But we are... One of our goals as the new admin group is to have more one-off events. This is the first of the bunch. And this is proving to be a fantastic idea. I am so pleased we got this in the works. It is Tamo. He's going to be entering the final lap in a moment. Number 53, he looks like he's going to be the first multi-time winner in this radical event. Although, of course, with points being reset into round 2, his previous win won't make a difference. Now, it's a level playing field. Tamo will be off to a strong start, though, from the looks of it. He's got a lap to navigate. I shouldn't be saying that with such certainty so early on. But it's Pat in second, also looking strong. I actually think Pat might just be gaining on Tamo in the past couple corners. Gasman 2.5 seconds off of Pat, but the group behind looks to be closing in on Gasman. Aloe, Slenderfella, and Rob on drums. Frankly, I could see the three of these guys catching Gasman before the end of the lap. Gasman could be in trouble here. You want to be in the top 4 in this race. That's why the battle is so powerful between these three here, Aloe, Slenderfella, and Rob on drums. You want to be top 4, because the top 4 are the 4 in position to advance to the finale, and who knows what will happen in the finale. I'm nearly speechless. I'm just so happy to see such fantastic battling. It's constant action in this race, in this entire event, and this is low grip. The theme of round 2 seems to be low grip, because our next race will be Eiger Nordwan in Sports Hards. Sports Hards. It's not going to be easy for the drivers. Tamo is leading the way. He looks so strong in these conditions. Pat looks good too. He looks really powerful in this race. I didn't know he was such a spa specialist, but he is doing well. Over 3 seconds ahead of Gasman, who does indeed have Aloe closing in on him. Slenderfella struggling to keep up with Aloe a little bit here, but Rob on drums is not far off the back of him. The Bronx NYC on his helmet. Right behind Slenderfella. Can he pull off a move? Kaiser's a ways back. Wendigo's not going to get better than 8th unless Kaiser has another spin. For now, it's Rob on drums, pressuring Slenderfella for 5th position in this race, to the outside, into Stabilo. Is there an opportunity? Can he make a move? It's going to be either through Blanchimont or into the bus stop chicane, should Rob on drums pull off a 5th place finish in this race. He's looking for it. He wants this. He wants the position. We know he does. The American on the Brit, Slenderfella, is going to be trying to defend. We saw it Alsace. Slenderfella, a master of defense. But Rob on drums, he's wise. He has the knowledge of SNL history. He's wise. He knows how to pull off a move. Can he get it done? Into the bus stop chicane. It's going to be the outside line. He can't quite. We go up to Tamo, who wins in Spa. What a drive from him in the torrential rain. Patton second. Gasman third. It's close to Aloe, but not quite. Aloe fourth. Slenderfella fifth. Rob on drums sixth. Kaiser through the bus stop chicane will be seventh. The Swede holds on to seventh. It's not quite the result he was looking for, but he'll be second going into the final round. Wendigo, it's not what he wanted. That's the big story of this race. Number 40 is going to finish in last place for the event. Or not for the event, but for the race in round 2. But he will have pole position at Eiger Nordwand, and I'm sure he will take advantage of that. Wow. Tamo, take a bow. You're our first two-time winner in this event. Congratulations. Whoa. Gasman saying, geez, that was tough, but also fun. And that's the goal. We want this to be chaotic, difficult races, but we want it to be fun. What is SNL if not serious fun? And what a race that was. Tamo in first, Pat in second, Gasman third, fourth is Aloe, fifth Slenderfella, sixth is Ron Rums, seventh is Kaiser, and Wendigo comes eighth. And if I check the standings now, if I can find the standings, there they are. Couldn't get to the standings tab on my laptop for some reason. So, of course, our top four, Tamo is first, Pat is second, Gasman is third, and Aloe is fourth. As it stands, those are the four that are set to advance to the finale, but it is not over yet. So, let's set the grid and the track for the next race. Eiger Nordwand Reverse, and this will be the first one where you really get to see me fumbling around trying to find the track. There it is. I've been very good at finding the tracks today. I'm very pleased with this. Eiger Nordwand Reverse. I believe this is 9 laps. It is, as we go to the Swiss countryside. Back to the default weather. And of course, the big thing that we need to change, though, is the tires that are allowed. If I can find that setting. There they are. We are doing sports hards for this race. I will double check that is correct. Yes, sports hards. 9 laps. 8 drivers. 1 goal. Which is to make it through to the finale. Who can do it? All drivers should take a second to enter the track, as they'll have to switch their tires to sports hards. Oh, into the wall immediately for Rob on drums. So already showing us why this track is going to be difficult. And look at this pit lane. It's just in a mound. It's also not where the start-finish line is. We'll go with Rob on drums up to into the wall again. The sports hards are proving difficult. We'll go with Gasman. See him up to the start-finish line. We do have 8 people entered now, so we'll need to set the grid in just a moment. But Gasman, we'll come with him, and I'll show you where the start-finish line is, because you can see the pits were all the way back here. Comparatively, the start-finish line, we're on the start-finish straight now. So first off, there's going to be a jump down this straight. I hope the cars can take air over it. Oh, maybe not, but that is the start-finish line there. This gate that Aloe's about to go through. Oh, maybe a little bit of air for the drivers there. That is the start-finish line. Then this will be turn 1, and then there will be a couple kinks to the left and to the right, and then you'll go by the pit entry. So, let's get the grid set now. It will be Wendigo on pole position, it'll be Kaiser in second. Third will be Rob on drums. Slenderfella will go fourth. That's not right. There we go. Slenderfella will be fourth. Aloe will go fifth. Right? Yeah. Jasmine will be sixth. Pat will be seventh. And Tama will be eighth. Lovely. Grid is set. And I will check with the drivers now to see if they are ready. As we see some shenanigans going on in the background. But what is the point of practice if not to just have shenanigans? Alrighty. Sorry for the delay, I got a little bit distracted there. Let's get going with this race. How many unscheduled pit stops will be made this race? That is a fantastic question, Rob. Drivers will be faced with very little grip, and the pit entry is on the outside of what is, frankly, one of the trickier corners on the track. So hopefully we don't see any accidental pit stops, but it's not impossible. Here we go. In the Swiss countryside, you can see the Alps in the background. 3, 4, 5 red lights. Oh, there's a jump start. 5 red lights are out, and we are racing. But the jump start is going to hurt Rob on drums, who drops huge amounts of positions already. Wendigo's in the lead. No, Kaiser sticks it down the inside on the sports hards. Wow. Kaiser's into the lead from Slenderfella. Wendigo drops to third. Aloe fourth. Fifth is Gosman. The big loser is Rob, though, who jumped the start. Tamo in seventh. Pat in eighth. It's going to be Kaiser who leads the way. Wendigo's back through on Slenderfella already. As we would expect, Wendigo is going to go down the inside of Kaiser. There's a little bit of contact, but he's going to make the position, or is he going to let him through? Does he? He does get the position, does Wendigo, the Lithuanian driver, but no, it's Kaiser who's going to come back at him. And now we're going to enter oh my god, I can't speak, the hairpin section of this track. There's contact with the wall. I can hear the crunching of cars. And this is the really hard part of the track on Sports Hards. And I think it's where we're seeing Wendigo excel already, as he's ahead of Wendigo. As he's ahead of Kaiser. Kaiser into the wall. Everybody struggling to make these hairpins. And Wendigo leads the way. He's got a strong gap at the end of lap 1. It's a second and a half as he goes over the jump. Kaiser in second. Tamo's up to third already. Fourth is Gosman. Fifth is Rob. Sixth is Pat, trying to make it into the finale. We know he'll be strong if he can make it there, but he needs to make it first. Aloe through into sixth ahead of him, though, and Slenderfella putting pressure on him in 8th position. Wendigo leads the way. It's a strong gap out in front. Kaiser, though, he's not going to let the Lithuanian go. Comparatively, there's a Lithuanian who's not going to let him go. It's Tamo down the inside. Kaiser, switchback of the century. Kaiser back through into second as Tamo clips the wall. What a switchback from the Swede. Gosman has damage, so he's in fourth, but he's going to be under pressure from Rob on drums, who is in a position where, oh no, Pat's round. Pat has spun round. He's trying to make sure he makes it into the finale, but he's down to 8th. He's recovered it quickly. He's not far off the back of Aloe and Slenderfella, but that is not what he will have wanted. The sports hard's proving extremely difficult, and I think the two Lithuanians have figured out how to deal with the sports hards the best, because they seem to manage that hairpin section so much better than the rest of the field. Wendigo has a 3.5 second lead to Tamo. Then it's Kaiser, still in a podium position. He is going for it. He had a switchback of the ages just a lap ago, and he's still in third. He's already proven he can defend well. If Gasman can catch up to him, it's still not going to be an easy task to get up into the podium positions. Rob on drums, he finished, I think, 5th in the previous race. He'll be looking for an opportunity to get through. It was 6th for Rob on drums last round, or last race, I should say, at Spa. We're having 2 very low grip races. We've seen spins in both. Aloe in 7th, Slenderfella is 6th, Pat of course is in 8th, Rob on drums is 5th, putting pressure on Gasman. This is our really close battle right now, is Rob on drums and Gasman, Scotsman versus American. From the US of A. And what does that say on the side back of Rob's car? No guts, no glory. Well, Rob, you need guts to try and make a move on Gasman. Let's see what you got. Out in front, it is Wendigo. I think Tamo's gaining on him, though. So Tamo could be going for a clean sweep of round 2. It is a it is lap 4 of 9 at this track. Tamo might just be the fastest driver on track. He has the fastest lap of the race. He is gaining on Wendigo. He's going to look to be going for a 3rd win of the event and a 2nd of the round. Kaiser, he needs this podium if he wants to make it through to the finale. He was 7th last race. He's going to need this result. He's really going to need this result. Gasman in 4th. 5th is Rob on drums. Trying a move, trying to see what he can do, but these hairpins, they're not easy to navigate. In fact, they're really difficult to navigate at the best of times. I've driven this track in racing soft. It's still not easy. Oh, Rob on drums nearly spins it around. He catches the car. No, he does go around. Rob on drums, and he has damage as well. That'll be Slenderfella up into 5th. That'll help his chances of making it through to the finale. Slenderfella now 5 seconds off of Gasman. Gasman all of a sudden is looking comfortable in 4th. Gasman should be able to make it through to the finale after a bit of a close call to make it through to round 2. So Pat is sitting in last position. If he can gain a couple positions, I think he can secure himself a spot in the finale. As it stands, I don't know how it's looking though. I can't do quick math. I could not tell you how it's sitting right now. I think Rob on drums has had another incident, unfortunately. He has dropped away back, and Pat will gain a position. Rob on drums is looking like it's going to be a hard ask to get into the finale now. Ooh, it could be a nice switch back here, though, on Pat. Can he pull off the move? He does. It looks like Pat has hit the wall, but Rob on drums nails it. Gets right back through on his long-time SNL compatriot. As just crawling through the hairpins is Aloe. Slenderfella too. Slenderfella is gonna make it through. Oh, the understeer, and it goes straight into oversteer. You understeer through the corner and then oversteer through the exit. It's like the 2014 Ferrari F1 car. It understeers and oversteers at the same time, which is a disgusting concept. But on sports hards, that's just kind of what happens on pretty much any car. So Wendigo is in the lead, but his lead is diminishing by the lap. Tamo is really closing in on him. The Lithuanians are running 1-2 once more. Tamo's looking for an opportunity. Kaiser sits in 3rd. The Swede. We're having the grid open up a little bit more, but that's not to say there's nothing going on, because here's Rob on drums on the back of Aloe. We'll go on board with him. You can see Pat in the mirror. You can see Aloe in front. Is there going to be an opportunity here? Aloe's later on the brakes. He might be too late on the brakes. Can Rob get an opportunity here? He's going to have the outside line here. It's nothing doing yet. Pat behind them is looking at these two. He's looking for an opportunity. He's looking for a chance. To the inside goes Rob. Nothing yet. Aloe should have the better exit. No, Aloe's into the wall. Rob's struggling not to spin. Pat's struggling not to spin. Pat gets through on Aloe. Rob does as well, so that's 2 positions lost for Aloe. But Aloe's going to look to see if he can get the position back on Pat, as Pat has a bit of oversteer out of that final corner through into lap 7. Aloe behind Pat. Pat behind Rob. Slenderfella is a distance ahead. Gasman's looking comfortable and lonely. So is Kaiser. But it's Tamo on the back of Wendigo now. Tamo's only half a second back. We could see a change for the lead of this race. Tamo, is he going to go for a move here? He's going to have to. I mean, surely you can't pass up an opportunity to win 2 races in a row. I mean, he's basically guaranteed, even if he spins, the gap's behind me that he's basically guaranteed to get into the finale. He can afford a mistake here. He can afford to go for this win, and I certainly hope to see him going for this win. I want to see an aggressive move here from Tamo. I want to see him getting his elbows out, really going for it on his Lithuanian friend. I want to see this. There's still more to see behind as well. Aloe's struggling to keep the car. Aloe's not looking great in this round. He managed the rain quite nicely. He struggled to manage this. Pat in 7th. Will that be enough to carry him through to the finale? Let's go on board with Tamo, though. He is looking to challenge Wendigo. We want to see a move here. We want to see some battling. These two are so fast, but being teammates at Ferrari, we didn't really get to see them battle. They were very cooperative, which was obviously, you want to see teamwork within a team. That's good to see, especially in GTE. But these guys aren't teammates anymore. They're fighting for this. They gotta do what they can to win. And I want to see Tamo. We've got a lap to go after this corner. I want to see him really stick it down the inside. He might have a run here. Can he get an opportunity? He's short-shifting this car, interestingly. Nothing doing yet. He'll hold on to the back of Wendigo for now. Aloe from Pat, from Rob. Well, that's in reverse order. Rob ahead of Pat and Aloe. Slenderfella is looking good. I don't know if this is going to be enough to carry him into the finale. I really don't know. I wish I could tell you, but I really can't do math that quickly. Tamo on the back of Wendigo. There's an opportunity here on the outside. Could it be a switchback? Could he make this move? We know he's faster. We know he's got the pace advantage, but does he have enough of it to make an overtake here on the final lap of the race? Lifting off, taking it easy into this corner. He doesn't want a mistake. He's going to want to line it up. He's got to be careful. He's not going to have many more opportunities on Wendigo. This is the final lap of this 9-lap race. Both of these drivers have won races in this event. Tamo is the only race winner in round 2 so far. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to make it double, though. It looks like Wendigo is going to be on top. Wendigo reigns supreme in Switzerland. He takes victory ahead of his Lithuanian friend Tamo. He's the only one I can certainly say makes the finale. Kaiser in 3rd. Well done. I think Gasman will make the finale. It was a 3rd and a 4th so far for him in round 2. I think Gasman will be into the finale. Slenderfella, Pat's got Rob. Pat has overtaken Rob. Rob is spun. No, Rob. Slenderfella 5th. Pat is 6th. That might put him through to the finale. I'm not sure, but it is looking good for Pat. I think that could be enough. Pat 6th, Aloe 7th. Hits the handbrake across the line. Rob on drums. No, that spin. Rob follows suit from Aloe, gets 8th position. It's disaster in the final few corners from Rob on drums. Wendigo, though. Pole position, clean race. What a drive. He takes victory. That was brilliant from the Lithuanian. But having been last in the previous round, it's hard to say how this one will go. I think he'll make the finale, but I don't know for sure. Let me check my standings, see if my helper's already updated them. Wow, man, you work fast. My God. Okay. So, we have 4 drivers entering the finale. Somehow I misread the numbers, but not the names. Interesting. We have 4 drivers entering the finale. Your top driver from round 2, you guessed it, Tamo. Your second place driver from round 2, Gasman. Your third and fourth place drivers from round 2, who are tied on points, Pat and Wendigo. Now, of course, Wendigo wins on count back there, having had the win in race 5. Unfortunately, as I've said before, as with every winner, there is a loser. This time we've got 4 winners from round 2. We've got 4 losers from round 2. The eliminated drivers, it was ultra close. Slenderfella on 22 points, as was Kaiser, although Kaiser gets him on count back. They are 5th and 6th, Aloe 7th, and Rob on Drums 8th in this event. So there you have it. Rob on Drums, Aloe, Kaiser, and Slenderfella are eliminated. I'll put that in the game chat as well, just to be sure. It's Kaiser, Rob on Drums, Slenderfella, and Aloe. And now we get to see an absolute... this is going to be so good. Northern Isle Speedway for 38 laps, if I'm not mistaken. Rob saying he wanted to do the oval too. I don't blame him. Rob, of course, that would be one of his 2 home races in this event had he made it. Frankly, I bet Rob would be good at the oval. But only 4 can remain going into this round. Oh, I need to change the tires back. We are on Racing Softs for the final race. If I can find the thing for that. There we go. Softs. Okay, and racing. There we go. Change event settings. Well, Slenderfella's left the room. He won't be spectating from the room. Same with Rob. Same with Aloe. Kaiser, the only one who got knocked out, still in the room, but he might exit as well. Thankfully, though, it seems like most people who get eliminated do come over to the live stream to watch, which is fantastic. Thank you all for coming to the live stream. It's good to have you here. Getting really good numbers in this race for viewership. It's very nice to see. Pat, you are through to the final. The finale. Last time SNL raced here, Pat was the winner. Maybe you can pull it off again. You never know. And I think he'll be starting on pole. Let me double check that fact. Pole position will be Pat. Second place on the grid will be Gasman. Third place will be Tamo. Therefore, 5th is Wendigo. Pat asking to have a minute, and we'll give him that minute. And I tell you what, while he takes that minute, I'll give you a track guide of this circuit as well. Hopefully this one will go better than the Alsace track guide. It's not a difficult circuit to familiarize yourself with. Because as you can see, well, we'll get around to the start-finish line. So, here's the start-finish line. Here's turn 1. Actually, don't know if this is flat out or not. Here's turn 1. Here's the back straight. Here's turn 2. Here's the front straight. And the start-finish line. Congratulations, that's a lap of Northern Isle Speedway. Ooh, this could be flat out. This will be interesting. Well, now I'm just having fun driving. I probably shouldn't have come out on track. I should have known this would happen. I am on controller, just to be clear. Usually I race on wheel, personally. I can't even catch the guys in front. Well, I suppose that tells you how fast they are. They are very, very strong drivers. This is a fantastic grid. Pat doesn't always find himself at the front of events, but at this track, we know he's strong. And Gasman, Camo, and Wendigo, like, that is a rapid trio if I've ever seen one. Alright, Pat is back, which means it's my cue to get off the track. I hope you like all the Canadian sports teams on the back of my car. As you can see, Tamo and Wendigo battling there. Alright. Although he's saying that last race was hard. Don't diss the big bull, says Rob. It's a fun track. I've driven it more times than you might expect. I did a NASCAR league a few years back, a NASCAR GT league on GT Sport. It was a lot of fun. Good track. Let's just make sure. Oh, right, I need to exit. It's a good thing I did that before starting the race. Our grid order is correct. Finale time. I know 38 laps sounds intimidating, but it should be a similar length to every other race. Drivers, are you ready? That's 3 readies. I don't know if we're going to get one from Wendigo, so I think we're good to go. Pat, oh, good quick fact from Pat. Pat managed to have gotten through with the lowest overall points. 50 for, he has 50, Gasman has 52, Wendigo has 67, and Tamo has 71. But of course there were points resets after round 1, and now after round 2. This is round 3. It is a 1-race event. It is a 1-race finale. If I can find the good luck, because I think these top 4, they deserve a good luck. Let's get ready. This is going to be something exceptional. Pat on pole, Rob on drums, apologies. Pat on pole, Gasman second, Tamo third, fourth is Wendigo. Winner takes all. It doesn't matter that Tamo has won 2 races already. It doesn't matter that Wendigo's won 2 races already. It's just whoever wins this one. There are our 4 cars. The lights are coming on for the finale. 4, 5 red lights. We are racing here at Northern Isle. The finale is underway. It's a good start from Pat. It might just be a better start from Gasman. He's going to have the outside line as we start to accelerate into turn 1. We'll be headed towards turn 2 in just a moment. Gasman drops down to last, taking the high line. It's Pat who's going to lead us to the end of lap 1, unless Wendigo's got a hell of a run. There's a bit of contact. Pat in first, Tamo second, Gasman third, Wendigo in fourth. Wendigo drops to the back in the Arc Raiders, Radical. Pat, we know he's good here. He's looking good so far. It's only 2 laps into the race. Oh, he hits the wall. Gasman into the wall as well. Wendigo's round. Oh, his Pat is as well. Pat and Wendigo are both around. It's Gasman and Tamo. It's a 2-horse race now. And of course, the red flag regulations are that it is only if there are 3 individuals involved in the incident. So this is not enough to constitute a red flag. It's Calamity at the start of the race. It's Wendigo around. He's almost a lap down now. Wendigo is a lap down behind Tamo now. Then it's Pat, who has gotten off better than Wendigo did, but is still in a tough position. Gasman is going to look to try and lap Wendigo as well now, and then try to get ahead of Tamo if he can, but it's not going to be an easy task to gain and overtake on Tamo. The short track nature of this event, it is Calamity right from the start, only a couple laps in. It was commentators' curse saying Pat was going well so far. I admitted it was only 2 laps in, but still, shouldn't have said anything. As Gasman picks up damage, he'll drop further back from Tamo, and suddenly all Tamo has to do to win this race is drive a clean event. That's all he has to do. He's in a very good position for this. He's got 4.5 seconds to Gasman. Gasman himself has 5 seconds to Pat, who has another 8 seconds to Wendigo. This group is very spread out all of a sudden. Incidents will do that. That's the tricky part about short circuit oval racing. Tamo in first. It's too bad we didn't see this track early on. It would have been disastrous, admittedly. There would have been so much contact. It would have been hectic. But 4 cars take to the oval. 2 of them have spun. 1 of them has hit the wall pretty heftily. And 1 of them remains on top. Gasman's going to look to reel in Tamo. Let's go on board with Gasman. See what he can do. Through turn 1, through turn 2. Can he hold on the rear of Wendigo up there? That's Wendigo in front of him. Wendigo, who of course is a lap down on Tamo, but not a lap down on Gasman. So for Wendigo, this is now a 37 lap race. For everybody else, it's still 38 laps, should Pat, of course, be able to avoid getting lapped. Tamo is, of course, here. That is Pat up ahead of him on the track. Tamo is running quick laps. Pat's running good laps as well, though, actually. Pat is not far off him. Gasman's running strong laps as well. Gasman was gaining on the last couple laps. Gasman's not out of this. I tell you what, because Gasman is gaining on Tamo. We're on lap 14 out of 38, and Gasman is looking purple. He was already purple last lap. He's going purple again this lap. He is gaining. Gasman's got the hang of this circuit now. Pat in third. Pat is also going, well, he's dropping back a little bit. I think Pat is struggling a little bit more on this track than the drivers ahead. And Wendigo is gaining on him, despite a small bit of contact with the wall there for Wendigo. Tamo is not safe. I thought he was. He's not. Gasman, he's got the pace. Gasman brings the speed. 15.5 compared to a 15.6. Gasman still gains. It's another 10th this lap. Now, he needs to try and gain more than a 10th a lap. We only have about 20 laps left in this race. He's going to need to try and gain about 2/10 a lap if he can. It was a 15.5 last lap again. 15.6 once again for Tamo, though. He's gaining. He is gaining. He's almost within 4 seconds of Tamo now. He is within 4 seconds. And I tell you what, he may pick up Slipstream before the end of the race. He could really take advantage. I mean, he's got Slipstream on Wendigo now, actually. Now, the difficulty with this, though, is that blue flags, the rules for this event are that the driver in front has no obligation to move out of the way. The driver behind is tasked with overtaking. However, the driver who is being lapped must not defend. If the driver lapping you goes for an overtake, you are not allowed to try and fight back and try and get, like, right back ahead or anything. Don't defend the inside line or anything, but you have no obligation to move out of the way. It is on the driver who is lapping to make the overtake. Now, Gasman is in that position. but so is Tamo, as Tamo has caught up to the back of Pat. Comparatively, Gasman, has he got Wendigo? Oh, he's on the inside. Can he get Wendigo? Wendigo swoops down to the inside. Oval overtaking is no easy task, and that's being shown by the fact that Pat, despite being in third, is still ahead of our race leader on track here. Oh, he hits the wall though, and Tamo's through. Tamo is ahead of Pat. Tamo's got the entire oval ahead of him of clean air. Gasman is just struggling to get through on Wendigo, and I think he'll be regretting the fact that we don't have blue flag rules, no obligation to get through, or let them through, of course. He's gonna go to the inside. It's the low line for Gasman. He's through on Wendigo. He's got the position. Wendigo can't fight this back too hard. Gasman is looking like he's got it. I think Wendigo's gonna need to drop back here. No, Wendigo's trying to stay ahead here. He's trying to keep it on the outside line. Ooh, this will be compromising Gasman a little bit. What was Gasman's last lap? A 15.6, as Wendigo maintains the position ahead of Gasman. And of course, Wendigo now is catching up to Pat. Wendigo's going to have an opportunity on Pat at this rate. Tamo is looking good out in front. It was a 15.5 last lap compared to a 15.8 from Gasman as he tried to get ahead of Wendigo, but was not able. So, Tamo looking strong here, 2.7 ahead. Gasman, purple through the first sector. He's got a double slipstream now. He's going to really want to make a move on these guys. Oh, he's clipped the wall. He goes to the inside. Can he get Pat on the low line? Nothing doing yet. Wendigo is through on Pat, though. Wendigo's got him. Pat's going to sit in the slipstream, wondering if there's a way for him to get back through. Gasman's going to be begging these guys, move, please. He's dropping time to Tamo now. We know he had better pace before, but not anymore, and there are 8 laps left to go in this race. Gasman to the low line. He's got the move on Pat. Can he get Wendigo now? Is he fully through on Pat? Yes, he is. Can he get Wendigo now? Wendigo. He's always Pat's into the wall. Has he avoided damage? No, he's picked up damage from that contact with the wall. That could spell the end of Pat's challenge to get back at Wendigo. Wendigo and Gasman now go side by side again. Gasman once again tries the low line. Ooh, just about manages to avoid sticking Wendigo in the wall. He's got the low line. Now he's through. Now Gasman's got Wendigo. Wendigo! Oh, Wendigo's not allowed to fight this back. Wendigo fights it back. So I wonder if the stewards will be having a look at that afterwards. Blue flag rules indicate that the lapped car is not allowed to fight back. But Wendigo has done precisely that. We'll see what the stewards rule if they are asked to take a look at it. We'll see. No guarantee they are. But that's not quite what we're looking for from lapped cars. Wendigo, I don't blame him for wanting to keep the position ahead of Gasman. I don't blame him at all for his actions, for wanting to do that, but it doesn't quite fit within our guidelines. Gasman, he really wants this position. He's forced to try the high line now, around the outside of Wendigo, but Tamo is going to enter the penultimate lap of our event, and he is looking so strong here. Tamo has looked near untouchable throughout this entire event. He has been unstoppable, nearly clean sweeped round 2. He won the third race of round 1. He's on the final lap. He's on the final corner even. Wendigo still ahead of Gasman, but it's Tamo who wins, not just this round, but overall. Tamo, take a bow. What a drive. What a win. It's Gasman second, Wendigo third on the podium, and just off it is Pat. But Tamo, the Lithuanian, takes overall victory in the Radical Knockout event. It's a clean race. It's victory. It's position raised by 2. It's Tamo, your winner today. And I think congratulations are in order. to Tamo, of course, but really to all 4 drivers who made it this far. What a fantastic event. This has been fantastic fun. It's been brilliant. And Tamo, if you're listening, I'd love to see you go out and do some donuts on the track. You've earned them. What an event. Pat comes home 4th, Wendigo 3rd, 2nd for Gasman, and Tamo is 1st. As Gasman pointing out the blue flag rule as well, so I do wonder if that'll get looked at by the stewards, which could promote Pat to a podium. The difficulty being that because of the knockout format of this championship, penalties are difficult. Drivers, everybody saying congratulations to Tamo in the chat, and rightfully so. That was a fantastic drive from him. And that is our event. That is our brilliant event. That is our first one-off event of the year, the first SNL special event of 2026. I sincerely hope you enjoyed. If you haven't watched the stream live and you're only getting to watch it now delayed, I hope you enjoyed the delayed event. I'm so happy we finally got to do true live stream of our event. That was fantastic. I'm really pleased. I was sad not to race, but I'm very happy to have commentated. That is a fantastic event to have commentated on. Who knows? Maybe we'll get a second iteration of it eventually. We will see. I think overall positive reception from the drivers, from what I've seen. That was fantastic. That was a long one, but it was good. And I think that this is where we'll say goodbye and good night. Thank you to everybody who raced. Congratulations again to Tamo, Gasman, Wendigo, Pat for being the top 4. Thank you to everybody else who participated. Congratulations to those who made it to round 2. Commiserations to those who were eliminated in the first round. Thank you to everybody who raced. Thank you to everybody who participated in any way, shape, or form. Thank you to Cool Dude Boy for sorting out the spreadsheet for the points for me, and thank you for doing that throughout the race. Thank you to everybody who commented. Thank you to everybody who watched. Really, just a big thank you to everybody. This has been a lot of fun. And as I said, it's time to say goodnight. I can announce that, before we go, I can announce that there is the next event coming up in SNL will be a full championship, back to our regular kind of thing with that. It will be Formula X returning next in SNL. It'll be soon. Thank you to everybody who watched. Good night and goodbye. See you soon.